Right. Oyez! Oyez! And thrice yea. Welcome to sunny Barnstaple. My name is Tom, and I'm going to take you for a walk through the centre of the town and tell you the history of Barnstaple, tell you the purpose of this town, which has existed for 1,200 years. First, we shall walk down to the river. Come this way. Well, we get very big tides on this coastline. The average high tide is about 8 metres, and the highest tides are over 10 metres. From low to high tide, over 10 metres. Two high tides every day. So Barnstaple is on a tidal river. The tide is now going out, and at low tide it is possible to walk through the water to cross the river. The bridge is 700 years old, but the town is 1,200 years old. And for the first 500 years there was no bridge, and people would wait until low tide and then wade through the river to cross.
Well, when you're in danger, what do you do while not holding any weapons?
Who in danger? Me?
You are, when you are in danger, when someone is threatening you. Okay.
There is much less danger, is there?
No, it's
criminals or thieves or burglars or whatever.
Most of the criminals in England don't carry weapons. It's a very minor thing for them to carry weapons because the courts deal with them very harshly. So criminals tend not to carry weapons, and they certainly don't use them against police, or well, very occasionally use them against police. But having said that, I have got a stab-proof vest on, and it's
bulletproof.
It's protection. It's light caliber bulletproof.
Okay.
So you know, a shotgun pellet from a way away is going to protect me, but a high-powered pistol isn't.
Like shotgun or anything.
Yeah.
But you see, the police don't carry guns, the public don't carry guns, the shopkeepers and business owners don't have guns, so there's no reason for a criminal to carry a gun. He's likely to get away with the money just by simply threatening the man without a gun. And if he carries a gun, the crime is far more serious.
We do have police officers that carry sidearms and have access to weapons. So if a call come in for say a bank robbery, I'll use a bank robbery because everyone thinks of bank robberies, doesn't they? A bank being robbed at gunpoint, then we would task police officers with the sidearms to go there. So I wouldn't be tasked to go there because I haven't got the protection. So,
and last question, why don't you use, for instance, a taser like in the US?
We have officers who carry tasers.
Tasers, okay.
So some officers carry tasers. Again, it's got to be proportionate, doesn't it? It's not
really lethal, but it's
I have no need to carry a taser. At the end of the day, most people not even gonna smack me. So
okay.
Yeah.
My duty as town crier of Barnstaple to introduce you to the people. So, oyez! Oyez! And thrice yea! The ancient borough of Barnstaple welcomes a party of students in business and trade studies from Morocco who are staying with local families for 2 weeks and practicing their English on yourselves. Oh yay! Oh yay! Yeah.
Can I ask you, what about trade of in Barnstaple?
Trade?
Yeah.
Yes. Trade is good. I mean, it is good. I tell you why it's good.
It's good for business.
We're in a recession. We've had a terrible financial meltdown. You go to cities and towns in this country and there are lots of empty shops. In some towns, 20% of the shops are empty, not trading. In this town, there are 2, maybe 3 shops out of 300 shops which are empty. There are almost no empty shops. Barnstaple's trade is surprisingly good compared to other towns. And that is because tourism brings an extra £400 million a year into the North Devon economy. The population of North Devon is 160,000. That means tourism is worth about £5,000 per person, man, woman and child living in this town in North Devon. Tourism is very useful and tourism is very good for the local economy because the money comes in from outside and it revolves around inside. After all, the guest house owner buys his eggs in the market, the man who grows the eggs buys his corn from the farmer, and the money stays in the area. So it's very healthy for the local economy. And Barnstaple, being the capital, the centre of the commerce of North Devon, the financial institutions, all the financial and business services are based here for the rest of North Devon. So Barnstaple gains a great deal from tourism, although the local people may not realise it as much. Tourism is more apparent on the coastline, but the businesses of Barnstaple, the business services, gain. Yeah. The official population of Barnstaple is 21,000, but that's because the original border was much smaller. If you look at the town from the air, from a plane, the town is much bigger, and the overall built-up area of the town, the population is 34,000, or about just over 34,000. So
I have noticed that Barnstaple is only a city for retired people. Don't you think so?
What you are saying is
the population is, old. Okay, so.
Well, there's a lot of retired people move to the West Country. Down here, where the climate is mild, where crime is low, where the sense of community is strong. This is where they move to retire. So yes, there is a higher population of retired people. But also, this town has 2 versions of retail trade. It's the town centre retail trade and then the outer town stores. You get lots of big supermarkets, very big supermarkets, not 1 or 2, but 6 or 7 big supermarkets. And that's where the families
Is it a cheap place to live?
yes, it is. This is an example. Sorry? Primark, yes, Primark is here, that's right. Yeah, it was interesting that a business survey of the retailers of Barnstaple done 20 years ago, the consultant who did the survey recommended that the politicians and the policy makers of the town should try and raise the quality of shopping in the town. But we realised after a while that was only making us like everyone else. And what we had become is we have many shops here which sell cheap end-of-line discount prices, particularly clothes, lots of discount food, clothes. And the tourists who come to town, the tourists who come to Barnstaple come here when it's raining. If it's sunny, they won't come to town at all. The whole week they're down here, they will not come here. But if it rains, they'll go to Barnstaple and spend the day shopping. And so we have a covered market, we have a covered shopping centre, a big shopping centre over there, 300 metres. But we have lots of discount clothes shops in particular. The tourists come to town, they don't intend to spend any money. They might spend some money in a restaurant or a pub, but they don't want to buy anything. But they go in the shops and they see these bargains and they think, oh, I've got to have that. I'll never get this back home. So they buy it. So Primark does very well out of tourists who don't intend to buy, but because the price is low and the deal is good, they do it. And Primark is one of many shops in the high street which sell discount clothes.
Right, now this is the end of the tour. So this is an opportunity for you to ask any questions you like about Barnstaple or anything that we've seen so far?
Yes, what's the question?
This chapel was for the Orthodox or Catholic Christians?
It was originally Catholic. This country, of course, was Catholic until the mid-16th century, when King Henry VIII, wanting to divorce his wife, established the Church of England. And then he took all the church property, and it became Church of England property, and no longer belonged to the Church of Rome. And this chapel he sold to the people of Barnstaple for 20 guineas, that's 21 pounds. In 1550, and it became a school. It became a school for boys, the Grammar School of Barnstaple. For 360 years, it was a school, right up until 1910.
You see that there was a school there.
This was a school.
It's always still school. It's still a school.
No, the school closed in 1910.
But what is the
Blackboard? There was no blackboard.
No, there was a blackboard. Well, originally there was no blackboard. Originally the desks were down here, and then the desks were set like this in late Victorian times, the late 19th century. You can see there have been notices up here, and they've all been taken down about 2 months ago. But I used to point out a picture on the wall, and you could see these desks with boys at them and a blackboard as well. So the teacher will be here with a blackboard and be writing here. Right, boys, you, yes? Okay. That's it.
How much inhabitants who lives in Barnstaple? How much? How many?
The overall complete Barnstaple, 34,000 people.
Sir, you said that merchants and sellers were studying here for 7 years.
The sons
And that made the success of the city across the seas. My question is, what are the topics that have been taught in that particular school?
Well, this was a typical merchant-town grammar school, yes. So it had been the classics, it had been literature, religious studies, mathematics obviously, but just but the classics would be very important. Latin and what have you. They came here at the age of 7 and left at the age of 14. So from the age of 7 to the age of 14. And there were only 50 boys here, maximum 50 boys, which means, if you work it out, that's only 7 new boys every year.
Thanks very much.
Good.